Right, we're going to start with Arsenal, who did fail in their efforts to sign a striker in the January transfer window. With Gabriel Jesus out for the season, it leaves just Kai Havertz as their only recognised striker. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta spoke to the media this afternoon ahead of the second leg of their EFL Cup semi-final against Newcastle tomorrow. Our reporter Gail Davis was at his news conference and joins me live now. Good to see you, Gail. Look, how did Arteta react to Arsenal's lack of business this window then?
Afternoon, Vicky. I think it's two-pronged, isn't it, for Mikel Arteta, who's probably very, very glad the window's shut so he can stop being asked almost every press conference whether he's going to bring reinforcements in. And then the other part of him was that they didn't do the business that he'd hoped they would do. He talked, even before Jesus' injury that ended his season in the middle of January, about the need to reinforce up front, with Saka obviously not fit till probably March, end of March. And then when that injury hit, he talked about being very short and just not having the options they want. And he said it did leave him feeling a little bit disappointed.
We had a clear intention, which is always there is a window open to explore the opportunities to improve our squad with players that can impact it. We haven't achieved it, so yeah, we are disappointed in that sense. But as well, we are very aware that that we only want to bring certain kind of players, and we have to be very disciplined with that as well. And I think that we were. When you try your best and you do things with the right process and you see the people that we all share the same intentions and wills, and after you don't achieve it, okay, for sure there are things to learn from it. There always are, but you have to move on, you know, and that's a piece that, okay, was important in the moment, and now we have to move on.
Well, look, Gail, the irony is they had 5 different scorers, didn't they, against Manchester City at the weekend? But did he have any alternative options to supposedly solve their problems up front?
He did say he might have to get creative, but as you say, 5 different scorers. And I've just been speaking to him about an interview that's going to run tomorrow morning, where he talks about Kai Havertz taking on that responsibility and the kind of special bond and trust that he has, and how robust he is as a player to be able to, if needed, play every game this season if he stays injury-free. But when he talks about being creative, it's looking at the likes of Trossard, of Martinelli, playing in that false nine. Even Sterling, he talked about having to play him up front. And he's also got the rise of these 2 teenagers in the last few weeks. They've announced themselves, haven't they? Miles Lewis-Skelly with that finish and very, very strong defensive display on the weekend against Manchester City. And Nwaneri, who scored in Girona and then scored again on the weekend. And he's talked a lot about him going forward and the position he might play in. So have a little listen about the plans for him possibly over the next few weeks and months.
We're going to have to be very flexible in the front line, and now the ones that we have on our feet, make sure that they stay fit and they keep contributing. Leo can play in that position. Raheem has played in that position. Ethan, I think, can play in that position. Martinelli can play there. So let's see in relation to how everybody is, moment, opponent. But at some point, I think we're going to have to try something different. We have to do so much in the last few years that where we are. So we're going to have to evolve there as well and have more players from the academy and the ones that are here to be fitter longer. That's a job that is permanent and it keeps evolving.
Well, Gail, it won't have passed him by, will it, that they'll have to overturn a 2-goal deficit to reach the EFL Cup final. How important does tomorrow's game feel in the context of their season, do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes these semi-finals are within the space of a fortnight, and if Arsenal had played Newcastle in that second leg, it might have felt very, very different. But off the back of a hugely impressive display, the last 20 minutes when they just tore Manchester City apart, there is that sense of that emotion and the belief and the confidence that simply wasn't here, the day after that Newcastle game. And you heard Declan Rice, didn't you, on the weekend, talking about the fire that burns inside, and that's where they got that performance against City from having not done themselves justice earlier on in the season. And you wonder, with these Arsenal players, it's probably one of their poorest performances. It's about galvanising what they did on the weekend, and the whole context of their season could change because a Wembley final awaits, and then that belief that seeps through, who knows where this title race will take us.
When you compare the emotional state of the team straight after the defeat and the manner that it happened and how we are today is very different. Because we come from very strong performances, some great wins, and especially the last one at home against Man City. So it builds momentum, you know, and after that game as well, we have a break. So it's the moment to go, you know, full gas, ready to go for it and try to approach it in the way that we believe is the best one to be in that final. We know how big that is, and you can feel it. You can feel it straight away. The push that the game gave us, winning against City, the manner that we did it, and the fact that it's a game that is the closest competition we are into a final. So we're going to give it a real go.
Well, sport, as we know, is so much about confidence, but maybe even more importantly, it is about timing. It has been billed this week as a really crucial week in Arsenal's season. They've got that sunshine break to Dubai to look forward to, and they hope they can travel there knowing that they are into a League Cup final.